Picture this. You are sitting in a freezing cold room right in front of a roaring fireplace. Your face is getting super warm, right? But the air around you is still freezing cold. So here's the question. How exactly does the heat leave that fire, cross the completely empty space of the room, and actually warm your body?
Or think about this classic mystery. How does a simple thermos magically know to keep your morning coffee piping hot, but keep your afternoon iced tea freezing cold? Well, by the end of this explainer, you are going to understand the exact 3 ways heat moves in our universe, the mechanisms behind them, and exactly how to control them in real life. Let's jump right in. Section 1. Conduction. Heat by contact. We're going to start with the most intuitive way heat moves. Imagine you accidentally touch a hot pan on a stove. Ouch, right? That rapid, painful transfer of heat is called conduction. Now, the technical rule here is that conduction is heat transfer through stationary matter by physical contact. But wait, what do we actually mean by stationary? I mean, the pan isn't moving, and your hand isn't moving, but at the microscopic level, it's a completely different story. The atoms inside that hot pan are vibrating furiously. And this brilliantly illustrates how conduction actually works in the real world. When you hold a hot cup of coffee, the wildly vibrating hot molecules of the cup, literally, physically, bump into the cooler, slower molecules of your hand. It is exactly like a microscopic bucket brigade passing heat energy down a line through direct, physical crashes. The electric stove burner does the exact same thing to a metal pan. So, let's do a quick retention check here. If conduction absolutely relies on a physical, microscopic bucket brigade, what if there's no physical matter at all? Like, what if it's a perfect vacuum? Well, the answer is, it simply cannot happen. Physical contact is an absolute requirement for conduction to occur. No atoms bumping into each other, no conduction. Period. Moving on to Section 2, Convection, fluids in motion. So, what happens when the matter itself isn't stationary? What if those hot molecules can freely travel around the room? Well, this is called convection. Convection is defined as heat transfer by the macroscopic movement of a fluid. Now, a quick heads up, in physics, a fluid means either a liquid or a gas. So if conduction is like passing buckets of water down a line of people, convection is like literally picking up the bucket yourself and physically running across the room to deliver the heat. Convection is actually all around us. When a forced air furnace blows warm air into your living room, that's convection. Those huge global weather systems you see on the news, convection. Hot air rising up a chimney or that annoying cold draft sneaking in around your windows, also convection. Even when a barista uses a steam wand to blast hot gas into cold milk, they're using convection to physically carry the heat energy directly into that milk. Now, let's connect this to real life and test it with a classic student scenario. When your body gets too warm, it naturally responds by sweating, right? Sweating uses fluids to transfer thermal energy away from your core. But what happens if you are sitting in a hot tub that is exactly 40 degrees Celsius? That's hotter than your normal body temperature. Will sweating cool you down in this situation? Wait, this is super important. Heat only transfers due to a temperature difference, and it always moves from hotter to colder. Because the 40-degree water around you is hotter than your core, the heat transfers into you. The convection is actually working in reverse. You will absorb heat from the water, no matter how much you sweat. Let's look at Section 3, radiation, electromagnetic heat waves. Let's think about the sun for a second. Outer space is a massive, completely empty vacuum. There's no physical contact for conduction, and there's no fluid for convection. So how does the sun's heat reach us here on Earth? The answer is radiation. Radiation is heat transfer that occurs when electromagnetic waves, things like microwaves, infrared, or visible light, are emitted or absorbed. Going back to our analogy, if conduction is passing the bucket and convection is running with the bucket, radiation is just throwing the water completely across the room. It requires absolutely no medium to travel through. There are some fascinating everyday examples of this all around us. We obviously already mentioned the sun, but did you know your own human body is constantly emitting thermal radiation? It's true. Or think about your microwave oven reheating a cold cup of coffee. That is pure radiation in action. And remember our very first question about sitting in a freezing room in front of a fireplace? Well, it turns out radiation is responsible for most of the heat transferred into the room from that fire. It completely bypasses the cold air to directly warm your skin. Now for a real-world test, the thermos bottle. Okay, so we've learned the 3 methods. Now it's time for our final practical exam, solving the mystery of the thermos bottle.
which is also technically known as a Dewar flask. This thing is engineered specifically to defeat all three methods of heat transfer we just talked about. Let's break down its anatomy step by step. Step 1. Between the inner and outer walls is a vacuum, an empty space with literally no air. Without physical matter or fluid, both conduction and convection are stopped dead in their tracks. Step 2. The silver coating on the walls acts just like a mirror to literally reflect radiation back into the liquid. And Step 3. The only physical connections between the inside and outside are the thin glass neck and some rubber supports at the base. These are incredibly poor conductors, effectively choking off that last remaining avenue of heat transfer. Pretty brilliant, right?
Let's wrap things up with a summary. The big three. Let's put everything we've learned together into an ultimate study guide. We've got the big three mechanisms right here, side by side. First, conduction, which is stationary physical contact, like holding that hot cup of coffee. Then, convection, which relies on macroscopic fluid movement, like steaming milk for cocoa. And finally, radiation, which uses electromagnetic waves, like microwaving that cold coffee. And remember, all three of these processes have one strict rule in common. They only ever occur when there is a difference in temperature. So I'm going to leave you with this final thought. Every single process happening around you right now involves these invisible forces of heat transfer. From the weather outside, to the clothes you choose to wear, to the mug sitting right there on your desk. Now that you can actually see these three mechanisms at work, how will you control the temperature of your world today? Think about that, and I will see you in our next explainer, where we're